Hello everybody, welcome back to United Way. Manchester United are going to Wembley after beating Nottingham Forest by 2-0. And on aggregate, as you can see there on the bottom of your screen, we beat them 5-0 on aggregate. Boom. Semi-final. Here we come. Sorry about that. Scratch that. Carabao Cup final. Here we come. I said I wasn't going to get too overhyped if you made it to the final, but I'm here. And yeah, we made it to, we're going to Wembley to face Newcastle, which again is not going to be easy. Hit that subscribe button as well if you're new, it'd be much appreciated. Any comments you have, any thoughts on the game you had, let us know in the comments. We'll go through player ratings, talk about the game, first and second half, player ratings, players who played well, players who played bad, average, and again, let us know your man of the match as well. For that, let us know what you thought of the game as well. So again, the first half was a bit and well done to Eric Ten Hag. We're going to Wembley. Didn't take them long to get the Red Devils to Wembley, did it? So yeah, that's where we're heading. That's the next destination in the Carabao Cup for United. And as I said, it's going to be a tough game against Newcastle as well, who are also a team in form. But it's at Wembley, neutral venue. It's hard to know what will happen there. But listen, the first half, the first half wasn't really all that, was it? It was very slow, the first half it was very boring first half. Nothing was, the final third, I thought we were kind of struggling in parts. We had our chances, but again, we just we weren't firing on all cylinders in that first half. I thought Anthony had not a great game. Kept running into the army of players, kept trying to take players on that you just knew he wasn't going to win. And yeah, listen, hopefully he can improve, because we had an alright game against Reading. I think most said it in the chat at half time. I don't know how we got man of the match. Should have gave it to, I don't know who said it. I don't think he said should have given it to anyone, but still, I hope Anthony, Sancho had to learn it the hard way. Well, I wouldn't say unfortunately, because it's not nice when you have to learn some things the hard way. But listen, Sancho has Anthony. Anthony, is a good player. That's the thing about Anthony. But yeah, I mean, listen, we'll talk a bit more about Anthony on other shows. But I mean, I thought he was kind of a poor player. Had a few shots, a few passes could be better. Passing in the first half was a bit poor as well, a bit all over the place. I mean, this is only the first half I'm talking about. Second half I'll talk about. So the first half, passing was a bit all over the place. We had 2 shots on target in that first half, which again I'm guessing one of those where Casemiro made a heady and it was saved. I mean, I was watching the game. Obviously, we had the watch along for it. So I mean, listen, 2 shots on target against a team who we should have annihilated in the first half, which we did beat, obviously. But the first half was poor. Nottingham Forest were poor. They didn't have any threat up top. We go through stats as well, but they didn't have no threat up top. That would have scared me. Brendan Johnson, Sam Surridge, Dennis Lingard, of course, who was meant to start, but picked up a knock before the game. So that was him told. Hold on, let me just change this because I don't know why this didn't put Manchester United in the bloody thumbnail. Like, Jesus Christ. Hold on, we'll talk about a bit Man United now. We'll just let me sort this one out. Let us know what you thought of the game, though. I'll still talk about the first half, but I just want to sort this one out as well, if my laptop lets me. I mean, Casemiro, as per usual, had a good game. I mean, listen, he had a few sluggish parts in the game, but again, another good performance from Casemiro. I can't think of a game where Casemiro played poor, to be fair to you. Fred getting another goal. Tap in, mind you, but it's still a goal. It doesn't matter how you get it, just once you get it. So another goal for Fred. Oh my God, my spelling is bloody useless. Hold on. As well. So again, so back to the first half. I mean, Luke Shaw missed the game against Reading. He didn't play in the game against Nottingham Forest in the first leg. So he was, it's nice to have him back, obviously. It's nice to have him back in the team. Our depths. I mean, Martial's back. Hopefully he stays fit for the rest of the season. Who else was there? There was Sancho, who's back. And then we have Sabitzer, who more than likely will be available to face Crystal Palace on Saturday as well. So, and then listen, look at the players we started. Garnacho, Anthony, our bench it was solid. Our bench was, it was strong tonight. It was strong. I know you're not going to bench Rashford, in the next games unless you're cruising or whatever. That's the only way maybe you could drop Rashford if you're cruising. And then again, Sancho playing on the right. I mean, that's more of a second half talk, isn't it? Tom Heaton kept another clean sheet as well, so fair play to Tom Heaton. That back four did a decent job tonight. I won't lie, the back four did a decent job tonight against an average mid-table Nottingham Forest team, as you'd expect. The midfield as well, Casemiro and Fred doing well. Obviously, once the Bitzer, gets himself back in there, it'll be interesting to see as well. So again, that midfield with Casemiro, it's a Brazilian partnership. It's a good Brazilian partnership to have as well. It's a very good partnership to have. I know Fred, we kind of wanted him to leave during the all years. I mean, me being one of them, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to sit here and be guilty because I was one of those people who wasn't fond of Fred. But listen, Ten Hag has changed a lot of players around. He's changed. When we look at Rashford, Rashford's changed a lot. Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, Varane, Fred. I mean, Bruno's getting there, which is always nice to see. And then he has the job to get Sancho back to Rashford's level. Or I mean, if Sancho can be better than Rashford, like Rashford's brilliant, but if Sancho can be better than Rashford, which I'm not expecting him to be better than Rashford, but if he'd be some sort near Rashford's level, I mean, listen, we're cruising if that can happen. But yeah, I mean, the first half, as I said, average, boring, slow. Second half, up to the 60th minute, we made the subs, which were decent subs as well. I mean, we brought on Martial, Sancho, Rashford, took off Weghorst, Garnacho, and Anthony. Happy days. Then obviously we brought on Lindelof and Maguire in the last few minutes and took off Varane and Casemiro. Casemiro was on the yellow, so Ten Hag doesn't want to be having him out for any games. I don't think he would have missed. I don't think he wouldn't have missed the final. He would have missed 2 Premier League games. So I think that would have been the main thing there. Which you don't want Casemiro being. He was out against Arsenal. We were kind of poor at that midfield as well. And yeah, I mean, as I said, ever since you made them subs, we started firing. Bruno. I mean, I noticed though Sancho kind of played more calm. It was Sancho calm. He's playing attack, but Sancho did come on. He was on the right, and then I was like, Bruno kind of moved on to the right wing, and then Sancho was playing attacking midfielder. It was kind of back and forth. I didn't notice that, but Sancho can play calm as well. It wouldn't be his, probably his third choice position. Be left wing, right wing, calm. Bruno, calm, right wing, left wing. But I'm not a fan of Bruno on the wings, but against teams like Forest, it's not too bad. I mean, if you have Weghorst in the box, again, not too bad as well, which isn't bad to see. But listen, with Sancho back, he's back in the squad now. There's no, when is Sancho going to return? When is Sancho going to return? He already has returned, which is good. He already has returned, which is always good to see. And also hit that subscribe button as well. Be much appreciated. Any support, we love the support. And yeah. But yeah, move back on to that game. I know he's put the score back up on the doors. And yeah, I mean, listen, as I said, having Sancho back is great for depth as well. Having Sancho back is brilliant for squad depth. Great for squad depth. Do you know what I mean? You can play on the right wing, as I said. You can play on the left. You can play it calm if you need to, but we have Sabitzer coming in who can also play calm. So I don't think that'll be happening. Just a beautiful man himself on screen, Eric Ten Hag. But no, listen, back to me. Over Ten Hag for the moment. As I always have as well. I mean, when we bring on those players like the Rashfords and the Martials and whatever, Bruno ups his game a lot. The lads up their game a lot, so that you're getting an impact from the bench. Because the players you start, I mean, Weghorst, yeah, listen, be some the player from an average striker. I don't hate Weghorst, but he's an average striker, championship player. I mean, he played. I mean, look at the Bundesliga. I mean, example, Sancho smashing it in the Bundesliga, came to the Premier League, and let's just say underperformed more than that. And so again, that's the thing that Manchester United, have to. I mean, Weghorst to be going back to Burnley in the summer, and then we're obviously bringing another striker as well, which is also going to be good. But listen, I mean, back to the game. We'll talk about individual players when we're going through player ratings and stuff. I mean, listen, as I repeat myself in saying, we brought those subs on, a bit more control. We had a bit more control, I like to say. A bit more control, more of a threat. Nottingham Forest just seemed to give up, though. It's like once you brought the subs on, and I got to sit in Tom, Nottingham Forest were going, I give up. Yeah, they were 3 goals down at Old Trafford, another clean sheet. We kept a clean sheet there. We kept a clean sheet at Old Trafford on Saturday. Who's the team? Who did we play before Arsenal at Old Trafford? Was it Man City? Yeah, Man City. I mean, we conceded 1, and we won the game. which isn't bad. So, I don't mind conceding goals against the big teams. We're improving. I mean, Ten Hag we're going in the right direction with Ten Hag. I mean, listen, I'm gonna keep repeating myself and saying it because I just can't wait for him to go. The Glazers are hopefully going to be heading in the next month or so, get new owners in, whether it's Ratcliffe, Saudi owners, Amazon, Apple, whoever comes in and buys, just once you have the money and back the manager and care about the club and whatever the manager wants gets, whatever the fans want we get. Improve the stadium and the training ground. That's all I want really. That's pretty much all I'd like, and obviously bring in funds. We look at Chelsea, Todd Bowley, bit of a clown. Football knowledge is shy, when he came in, he was like, "Oh yeah, let's play 4-3-4-4." What was it 4-4-3? It's not even a formation, but Todd Bowley obviously was clueless enough. The only clueless person to say that. As well. So American owners, I'd rather stay away from American owners. Ratcliffe, he's an English lad. You get him in. Yeah, he's the richest man in England. The richest man in England, as I said. So again, the Glazers leaving. We're going the right direction. And then you look at just a game like today as well. I mean, if this was Manchester United with Ollie, no disrespect to Ollie, I love Ollie, the legend of the club. I'd be thinking, Forest probably would have got an early goal. You just get that in the back of your head, like, hold on a sec, we're not going to go back to the good old days where we slip a 3-goal lead or we let the team score 2 goals or whatever. We played the game safe, and it still would have been hit 0-0. We still would have got a clean sheet. If you think of it, we still would have got a clean sheet if we scored or not. So either way, that's cool. We're improving defensively. Midfield is improving. We have Rashford who's firing on all cylinders. Hopefully Anthony can follow, Sancho and Martial. Bruno's doing well, but I mean, if Bruno could follow Rashford as well, that'd be nice. Bruno is just one of those team players or playmakers, really. I mean, even with the when we brought in Lisandro Martinez, and we improved. We brought in Lisandro Martinez and also we improved. So again, we are improving. We are improving a lot. We're only 6 months in to Ten Hag's reign as Manchester United manager, which is surprising because I thought we'd have one of those seasons where we'll make it to the round of 16 quarterfinal stage of the Carabao Cup, finish in the top 5 of the Premier League, not win titles by the way, but just finishing the top. I predict us to finish 4th. So FA Cup still in the early stages of that one as well. So again, that's when we have West Ham. So hopefully we move on. Hopefully we can win that. I mean, imagine if we can win the treble this season. I know it wouldn't really count as it's not the main treble, but you win the Europa League, you win the Carabao Cup and FA Cup. I mean, listen, as much as I'd like to say Premier League, we're not going to win the Premier League. That's Arsenal City can talk about that, not Manchester United or Newcastle at the moment. Anyways, speak for Man United, so I can't really talk about that one. Listen, if we knock out Barcelona, that's a confidence boost as well. Yeah, they're not the team they were 5 years ago. Yeah, they haven't got Messi. Yeah, they haven't got Neymar. Yeah, they haven't got Suarez. Yeah, they haven't got Rakitic. Yeah, they haven't got Andreas Iniesta. Yeah, they haven't got PK. Yeah, Biscuits, Sergio Busquets. Isn't the player he is. He's getting old as well. Ter Stegen, but then again, they have Lewandowski. They have Ansu Fati. Is Ansu Fati still going for him? They have Frank Traitor or Phil Frankie de Jong. So they are improving, but I mean, listen, they're top in their league, but the league is. I know Ronaldo broke records in that league, but it's not all that. I mean, if it wasn't for Benzema, Real Madrid would probably be not mid-table side, but So again, Barcelona are improving as well, though. Xavi came in, didn't start off well for him. He's improving. Same with Ten Hag. First 2 games of the season, rubbish. We got better round. We actually got manhandled by Brighton and Brentford. But we still, Liverpool, ever since we beat Liverpool at Old Trafford, we just went on a rise ever since then. Yes, City have then, they slapped us 6-3 in the derby. We, Ten Hag, Manchester United learned from their mistakes. So did Ten Hag. They learned from their mistakes, and then we improved. And then we beat City. We beat City at our house at Old Trafford, which it's always, it's improvements. And even with this team, which the depth is the depth isn't great. That's one thing I'll say about us. The depth isn't great. It's not all that. It's something that I'd get excited about. Yeah, our bench was strong tonight, which is always nice to see. But then think of next game. You're going to have Sancho on the bench, or Anthony, or Rashford. So again, it's still a strong bench, and you probably have Weghorst or Martial on the bench. So again, and then Delo will be back, and then Sabitzer over there. Then you have Fred there. So again, it's nice options to have. Options coming off the bench hopefully will improve. And that's what we need. We just need to have options from the bench. None of this bloody crap of playing Bruno on the right wing. There's no need to play Bruno on the left wing or right wing anymore, because we have Sancho back, and we have Anthony there, and we have Pellistri there. And then the other side, you can play Garnacho there, or you can play Sancho on the left, or you can play Rashford on the left. Bruno doesn't have to see that right wing or left wing position again. You have Sabitzer now. He can play cam. He can play central midfielder. He can play CDM. You have those players to cover positions. So, again, there should be no need for Bruno to see the right wing. But listen, Ten Hag could play Bruno at right back, and I'd still back Ten Hag, because he's proved us wrong so many a time, and that's not saying he's not going to do it again. And he has. He has. We're going to a final. 26th of February, which is in 25 days at Wembley. We have made it to a final since 2020. Is it 2020 or 2021? The Europa League final when we played Villarreal. That's 2 years ago now. That's good. That we have made it to a domestic cup final. Again, probably Mourinho as manager. Maybe Oli, but I think Mourinho was manager then. So again, it's just that kind of thing. It's just that kind of thing. So again, there's improvements there. I know people would say, yeah, but look at your run you had. You had Burnley. You had, I'm sure we had someone else before Burnley, did we? But anyways, we go to teams that I can remember. Burnley, Charlton, Forest. You had an easy run. So did Newcastle. Southampton knocked City out. Newcastle beat Southampton. So again, it's a crazy competition. And this Carabao Cup is a competition that I think will win. As much as Newcastle are flying on all cylinders, I just think Ten Hag has more experience and he'll know what the story is. It's been a while since Eddie Howe's made it to a cup final. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ten Hag only made it to a final there with Ajax last year. I know, Eredivisie, Dutch football, it's not, it's like bread, it's straight, it's simple. No. You just got them. Ajax just sacked their manager. Yeah, he might not have been experienced enough, but he still got the job done, which is always nice to see. When a manager that people are calling flop and could be a failure. I mean, again, I was back in Ten Hag those first games we lost. I thought we're going to be in for a very long season here. No, not with my old pal Eric. Not with my old pal Eric as well. But we're going to stats and that anyways. But again, look at the improvements we're making. You might think I'm talking stupid, but we are making a lot of improvements. And we're only 6 months. I mean, I can't wait for next season already. Not saying we're going to be competing for titles next season, but we could be in the champion. We could be in the champion next season, and people could back us a bit more than we're not a team that people back much, but now people are realizing. Yeah, I mean, Wembley's a big place. It's a big stadium, but again, these days are Manchester United. If you can beat City, and we did beat Arsenal, don't forget that. I know we drew 0-0 against Newcastle, but still, there's improvements. There's improvements there to be made still, but the improvements that us fans wanted to be improved are the ones that Ten Hag is sorting out. You know what I mean? Trust the process, as Ten Hag would say. We go through player stats, or not player stats, player stats of the game. So Manchester United had 13 shots to Nottingham Forest 5. Manchester United 6 shots on target. Nottingham Forest 3 shots on target. Manchester United had 74% possession. Nottingham Forest had 26% possession. Manchester United 616 passes. Nottingham Forest 213. 87 pass accuracy. United 58% Forest. Both teams had 11 fouls. United had 2 yellows. Forest had 1. I think those 2 yellow cards were to Casemiro and Fred. No reds, 1 offside to United, no offsides to Forest. Forest had 1 corner, United had 5. We got the job done, Martial and Fred. So again, Fred just, Fred's like, hold on a sec, Weghorst is coming in. I'm going to have to up the game here. But again, it's nice to see that players have to fight for their roles, because not feel the players have to fight for their position again. We haven't had that. You had Matic. I mean, think of Ollie when we had Matic, McFred. We didn't have anyone else back then. Pogba. Pogba might sound like the standout name out of that. Pogba was useless. He was always injured. Matic was good, but he had legs like biscuits. He just folded easy. Did well, but still. McFred were useless. Useless. I thought worst partnership I've ever seen. But again, we have a Brazilian partnership. We have a partnership at the back with Varane and Martinez. Up top, partnership. Partnership all over the place. And again, Ten Hag probably still has a lot more signings that he like to make. Ten Hag probably still has a lot more signings he'd like to make in the summer. I mean, today he wants to get a goalkeeper, a defender, a midfielder, and a striker in the summer transfer window. Never said how many. You could get 2 strikers, could get 2 goalies, could get 2 centre backs, could get 2 defenders, 2 midfielders. Obviously Sabitzer will be going back to Bayern. Now again, if Sabitzer plays well and he suits Ten Hag's system and Ten Hag's happy with him, Ten Hag could want the boy. There's no loan to boy, but Ten Hag could probably sort that one out himself. I mean, Butland, straight loan. I mean, we haven't played him at all. I mean, not sure he's injured or not, and Ten Hag is saying no. But we'll go through player stats. I agree to disagree if needed. Agree with me or disagree with me. Let's go to so De Gea, or not De Gea, Tom Heaton kept the clean sheet. Didn't have much to do. I'll give him an average. I'll give him a 5.5. Again, didn't have much to do. Wan-Bissaka had a decent game. I'll give him a 7. Varane a 7. Martinez a 7. Luke Shaw a 7. So I feel like I'm feeling generous today. Bruno 7. 7.5. 7.5. Bruno. Probably get Bruno. I get Bruno an 8. Give Bruno an 8. Casemiro an 8. Fred, he got the goal, so I'll give him an 8.5. Probably feeling a bit too. People might disagree. Weghorst 3 or 4. Anthony 5. Garnacho 5.5. The subs. Lindelof came on late and so did Maguire, so I'll just give them a 4. Martial got the goal, so I'll give him a 7. Rashford 6.5 and Sancho 5.5. Man of the match. Again, it's caught between another midfielder, 2 midfielders, with Bruno and Fred, or Bruno and Casemiro. I can't give it to Rashford because he came on second half. No, Martial, no. Luke Shaw had a good game. Again, I'm gonna give it to who would I give man the match to? I'll give it to Bruno. I'll give it to Bruno this time. Again, it's a tough decision when you have to choose between Bruno and Casemiro. That's just me. But who's your man the match? I mean, who's your man the match? You know, I mean, don't mind my man in the match. The more important thing is what's your man the match. Don't mind my man in the match. But again, Manchester United are going to Wembley. I mean, listen, as I said, I'm probably going to sound like a parrot, beating myself all the time. We're going places, and the problem is we're going good. No, the situation is we're going good places. You know, we're heading in the right direction. We're only 6 months so far into the process with Erik ten Hag, which is good, which is very, very good. 6 months with this manager, Ten Hag. I wanted him to come in. I wanted him to come in when Ollie got the sack. When Ollie got sacked, I thought, Ten Hag, we're looking at Enrique. Oh, sorry, he who shall not be named, because every time I say my audio fucks up or something messes up. He who shall not be named. We were looking at Brendan Rodgers. Jesus, we were looking at. We were looking at. Oh man, Philip. We were looking at another someone else. Pochettino. Like Pochettino. Like were we that desperate for a manager there? Antonio Conte. No, go with the man who rebuilded teams. Ten Hag rebuilded. Ajax were a shite team. Hadn't got a chance in hell. Ten Hag came in. What's the word I'm looking for? He rebuilt the team. Solid. And that's what you need. A manager who can come in and who can rebuild the team. That's what you need. Pochettino, he can add on to the team, but he's not going to rebuild the team. Conte, he just signs players, doesn't know who he's getting. Enrique, or he who should not be named. I feel like he'd have a good year, and then he'd be useless after that. And he can't rebuild teams. You know, the World Cup he might have did great, but not enough for me. And I'm glad we didn't get him. And Brendan Rodgers, poor manager. Like Leicester aren't doing great at all this season, so I'm glad we didn't get him. And he used to manage Liverpool as well. So Ten Hag, Ajax manager, knows how to rebuild teams. I think every single United fan wanted Ten Hag, and we got Ten Hag, and boom, we got Ten Hag. We wanted a midfielder yesterday. We got a midfielder. We wanted a midfielder in the summer. We got a midfielder. We got two. We got a centre back in the summer. We got a left back in the summer. We got a goalkeeper in the summer who got recalled, but goalkeeper in the summer. We didn't get a striker, which we should have. We didn't get a left winger, which wasn't needed at the time because you had Rashford, Sancho, and we knew Garnacho was going to get called up. And we needed a right winger in the summer. We got one. Still a lot to learn, still a lot to improve on. And most importantly, we wanted a manager in the summer. Now, this season, 2023, we want owners. We want the Glazers gone, which they're going soon, fingers crossed. We want new and better owners, bigger and better owners who care about the club, back the manager, all that good stuff. Hopefully we get that, and I'm sure we will get that, whether it's Ratcliffe or Saudi owners or whatever. And then we wanted to get, and now we need a striker. Now we want a striker. Now we want, those fans want to get a striker in the summer, and so does Ten Hag and Man United. We're going to get a striker, whether that'll be Harry Kane, Ozypin, Jonathan David, Vlahovic, whoever may be, or whoever Ten Hag has up his sleeve, we'll go for it. We need a right back. I feel like we still need a right back in the summer. I don't know who, but a right back. Another centre back. Sell us. We need to sell. I feel like we need to sell a centre back to bring in a centre back. And I think Harry Maguire could go. Could Lindelof go? Don't think Ten Hag want to get rid of him, but could he go? Maybe. I'd like us to get another right winger, but I don't know who. But I'm not in a rush for a right winger. I want two midfielders. I want a flexible midfielder who can play central midfielder and CDM, which is pretty much the same. And I'd like a cam, someone who can compete with Bruno Fernandes. That's who I would like. But yeah, listen, that's been it. That's been the Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest post-match reaction show. No short and sweet. Please like, comment, hit that subscribe button. I was a busy transfer window yesterday. I was live 3 times. 3 times. I was before, so something new. That's what you do when you love United. And yeah, Manchester United 2, Nottingham Forest 0. On aggregate, it's 5-0 to United. Heading to the final, heading into the final in style. Wembley, here we come. Speak to y'all on the next one. Come on, United.